Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is the start of what I hope is going to turn out to be a pretty big thing for me. Not money-wise or anything, I just want to get more involved in the bike scene, and I guess with yesterday I just got a van, so I'm going to start doing videos on that too. This is my gauge relocation video, and haven't worked out a name for the channel yet, but I'm just going to leave it as my name for now. Maybe we'll change it down the road. So anyways, just wanted to start out with saying a couple things about this video before I get into it. You're gonna see in this video where I took off my tank, which you don't have to do. I only did that because you'll hear me talk about all the BS wiring that's in this bike, and that's because the guy that had it before me, or maybe the guy before him, put all this stereo junk in it, ran straight power lines from the battery to like amps and whatnot, and all that wiring had to come out. So I had to pull off my tank, open up the wire harness box that runs along the neck of the frame, or I'm sorry, the backbone, and that is really what makes this video look like this gauge relocation takes so much time. If you just have a normal bike, normal road glide, like pre-Rushmore 13 and down, it's super simple, and the worst thing is going to be doing the sanding and the grinding on the head unit area where your radio would normally be. Obviously it's where you're putting the gauges, but the quality's top notch. I mean, it's 2 aluminum brackets from MyMachinist, and you'll see where I tried messing with the back lip to try to make it fit better, and it's definitely, I shouldn't have had to do that. That was me being impatient. I should have just been slower and taken more time with sanding the fairing down. And yeah, so let's get into this. Hey guys, what's up? This is the start to my MyMachinist gauge relocation kit for the gauges for your 2013 and down road glides. The only reason I'm really doing this video is because the only people that have done it's Cruci, and those guys did a really good job of doing that video, but I just kind of wanted to put one out of me trying to do it. That way other people out there can see that, you can be a Joe Schmo and do this shit, and it's really not that hard. So I'm just gonna start fucking doing this shit. Probably just have like a time lapse or something, and then yeah. So let's get to it. So I just wanted to stop in the middle of this and show you guys the other part of this that's going to be a big issue. Not as big as it used to be, because when I had my bike in the shop, the guys cleaned it up for me some. But when I bought this bike, it was hell yeah brothered out to the max. So there was like all these speakers, saddlebag speakers. There was like holes cut in my other fairing. Like, it was garbage, and there's still all this wiring in here. So I'll just have you guys look at that. So as you guys can see, there's just this absolute fucking rat's nest, and the bad part is that like this is really cleaned up compared to how it was when I bought it. So like all of this is coming out, every last bit. So just keeping what I got to, and then gonna run the gauges up in there. Okay guys, after all of that wire fuckery, I think I'm gonna call this a day. As you can see, I got the stereo out, I've got the
Got the stereo out. I got a lot of these wires separated, a lot of this bullshit pulled through. These are pretty much most of the, like, hell yeah, brother, extra wiring that I gotta fucking get rid of still. I'm probably gonna get rid of this entire stereo harness and everything, but I am gonna call it quits for today. I gotta go to work soon, but I mean, I feel like I made some headway, I think.
So originally when I was like gonna buy this and tear into it, I was kind of worried that like I was gonna have to buy like fucking like extensions for the speedo and the tack, or like how the shit was gonna work. But if you actually look in here, so this is the hookup for the, which one is this? Speedo. This is the hook for the tack, and this is for like your little indicator lights, high beam, low beam, neutral, all that shit. And when you go and look in here, there's a harness right here, and that actually goes all the way through into here, and it'll just pull out and you can put it right in there where it's supposed to go. So there's no harness extensions or anything you need. You can do all this shit plug and play.
All right, guys, so what I'm doing right now is the faceplate that you get with the relocation kit. It's real tight tolerance, and especially for these like Amazon aftermarket road glide fairings like I have, they're all whacked out to begin with. And I'm sure there's a cleaner way I could do this, but I mean, it's the back side of the bracket, so I don't really care. So I'm just using regular bit on this Dremel, which actually isn't even for aluminum, but I'm making it work because I'm trying to show you that you can do this with pretty much whatever the fuck you have at home. I'm not trying to go out and spend a bunch of money on tools. And if you look at this, I'm going around this edge, trying to just get up in here on this edge right here. That's why I even have the back side of that main lip taped. And I'm just taking a little bit by little bit. And then what you'll notice is when you're trying to fit it in here, you will slowly and slowly get this gap filled in. And again, I'm trying to do this like the Cruci guys did and show you that this shit will fit real tight instead of having this stupid gap. But it takes a little bit of effort, and this is that edge I'm going along right here. Yes, I know the backside looks like shit. I'm sure someone or a bunch of people are going to tear me up in the comments, but I'm just trying to show you that anybody can do this, and I'm just trying to get it done because I prefer to ride this thing over drive that thing. So see if we can get this to pop in here finally. All right, guys, here's a little update. As you can see, yesterday, grinding away, trying to make the pockets for the gauges and shit. I made an absolute fucking mess. And this is kind of how it turned out. It's a little on the gross side. I'm not exactly happy with it. Hopefully I can cover that up with a Sharpie. Even though I had it taped up, it cut through the tape. This isn't as clean as I would like it to be. I'm not a professional, but I still feel like I could have done better. But this is my first time doing one. So I'm hoping that no one really just notices that, because all this will be covered up. So like, although it's gonna be covered up, I still kind of wanted it to look prettier than that, but I had to get up in here and kind of sand this down because it was too tight, and I didn't want to have that gap that I talked about before along this line. So hopefully I can get it to fit now. The other thing I wanted to talk about too is like, when you go to run this, you can run these to whatever side you want. I'm gonna swap them just to be different, I guess. And then you can run your indicator strip, whatever the hell you want to call this, at the top or at the bottom. I'm gonna run it at the bottom to keep it kind of stock, but yeah. And then since I took off my nacelle, I had to put these somewhere. I'm just gonna put them right here for now and watch and make sure that they don't chafe on any of this. I don't want any of these wires to get messed up. And then the button to go through your trip and stuff right here, I'm gonna try to mount up in here. It's not big enough yet. I'm gonna drill it out and hopefully it'll look nice and stock. So yeah, again, I'm not a professional. I'm just trying to go at this and figure some shit out, learn something. So I know I'll probably get made fun of in the comments, but that's fine.
All right, guys, here's a little update on the bagger. I'm, kind of a scrub, and I don't really have good tools. So the bolts for this kit that clamps the gauges in, they're a 5/64 Allen. The only 5/64 Allen I have is this one. And when you're up in here, this along these bracket walls doesn't really turn that well. So I had to run a Harbor Freight and get some of those that are gonna work in there, like the actual single Allens. And it really doesn't look that bad so far. So you can see here, she's in. We have a minimal gap so far. It popped in there pretty clean. Got the wiring done up. Obviously, there's your pretty little bracket. This, I will admit, maybe it's because I have the aftermarket, Amazon fairing, but lining this bracket up and getting it in there was a pretty big pain in the ass. Also, these bolts with this bracket, they didn't just slide in there real nice. I know that it's supposed to be tight tolerance because, Justin at MyMachinist really understands the whole principle behind that. Obviously, that's kind of what he does. But I did have to drill them out a little bit. Had to break out the bit kit and just hone them out just enough to get it to be able to slide through there because they wouldn't actually slide in. And she looks pretty clean so far. And I do want to admit, I had to do a lot more sanding and grinding to get all this shit to fit. I'm not happy with it, to be honest with you. Not with the kit. I'm happy with the kit. I'm just not happy with the quality of my own work, which using the, I don't fucking know, a couple $100 worth of tools that I have. I'm not a professional shop or anything. I still feel like it's kind of a hack job. I tried to make it as clean as I could with what I had. I definitely need to get an air compressor in the future and get an actual side grinder and shit that's made to grind, aluminum, shit like that, because the little sanding bits that I was using that come with the Dremel kits, they just clog up with the aluminum. And honestly, I really don't think that I really even should have had to grind down any of this aluminum. I'm betting it's probably because of this aftermarket Amazon fairing. I don't want to go shitting on MyMachinist because I really don't know. This is the only one I've ever installed. So we're almost done, man.
All right, guys, so here's everything that came out of the bike. We got both of these speakers, the amp and the bracket, the head unit with all of its bullshit wiring, and then all of this mess. This is probably like a couple pounds of wire right here. Fucking unnecessary.
Hey guys, so this is going to be the outro to the video. So it's been about 2 weeks now since I've gotten the kit installed. No rattling, no issues, no nothing. It's the raw aluminum. It's not, getting gross yet. I haven't had any stains on it, nothing. Works great. For the kit, 9 out of 10. The only way I go to 10 out of 10 is if he installed it for me, but obviously that's not going to happen. No, kit's great. I love it. And, being some 20-year-old guy who doesn't have a whole lot of tools to fuck with, I had to make one trip to Harbor Freight and everything else was cake. So it's been great, as you guys can see. She's all pretty up in there. No rattling or nothing. Kit's all in there real nice. Everything works. Got your indicator lights and everything on there. Oh, fuck, you see it. Indicator lights and everything. Shit's tight. And it's been great so far. And it's so much better than having to look down, especially having 8-inch risers. Having to look over
my bars just to see, you know, how fast I'm going or if my fucking turn signal's still on or not. This is so much nicer. It takes a lot of your focus from trying to look down there and you're still back on the road. And no complaints, guys. Thanks for watching. Please, you know, if you want to subscribe, follow, like, whatever. I don't really understand all this bullshit yet, even though I should. So thanks, guys. Till next time.